crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
The penetrator. Come on, look, because I always went the farthest into the target, goddammit. Libya, Tunisia, Lebanon. It was me, pal. I was always first in, last out.
This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to. But it's vulnerable out in the open.
Its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Light the fires, Valhalla, for Makini draws! Good morning, Valhalla! He's the mad doctor, Ortega Outlaw! Mr. Buttcrack Media! The Lady Arwen Avalon! Roll Tide, Kiwi Chow, Roll Tide, brother! Greetings program for Daryl the Derelict! Not a Boobus Cuba! Like a dog die! Penny! Good morning, Penny! It's the man, Dean Grant! Skull and tuck and rope from Holly Hard! Alina's chapter of sin! Jessica's not Alina! He's the angriest wretch in Valhalla, Mark the infinitely tired! Project Adrian and Gary Panther Sandwich Worthington! Mama Bear Art Doll, really quick. Got her in there at the end.
Exactly.
Good morning, greetings, one and all, and welcome to YouTube Talk here on Mornings of Mischief. I am your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great one. It's hump day. Yeah. And that means it's time for some YouTube Talk with the one and only Makini draws from Channel 90. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, Valhalla. I am your artist, journeyman, illustrator, and resident Heimdall. Frontline warrior, Makini 90 at your service.
Damn!
Glad to be here. See, you got my voice. See. I was my voice was. Backstage. I was like, oh, I kind of just woke up. Then I hear that intro. And I'm like, let's go.
Let's go. Yes. Hell
and
yes.
Resident, yes, and yes, my alter ego, Black Daddy Fortnite, as your service.
Nice, dude. It's almost like hearing. What's that one? Was it Bruce? God, I can't remember his name now. But the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world.
Oh, Michael,
get ready to run, Michael
gentlemen.
Buffer. Thank you.
Let's get ready to rumble. All right, okay.
Oh God. The intro will get you hyped. What's up,
Exactly.
Nick? Nick from Echo Base Network, who I will be hanging out with later today over at Space Cadet Comics. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you here. Matt has gotten into the Adega blend Red Bull. Yes,
I have. I don't even drink Red Bull though.
It's 6 a.m. there for you. God help you.
You know what? I've became my own like energy supplier. It's like self-sustaining energy drink for me. It just takes something to get me going, and it's not coffee or anything. It just happens automatically.
Good morning, Punk Waddle. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody coming in. Oh, Cardinal Sin, what is up? What does Peter Whalen have to say about the state of affairs in YouTube today? well, give me one moment. The stream's supposed to be about Makini.
Oh,
not supposed to be about Peter Whalen. Yes. Yeah. Hello, Valhalla. Yes, it is I, Peter Whalen. And if you are hearing this, I am long dead. Yes. Where's my spotted dick? Where's that brown bastard Mexican Iron Man? Where's my spotted dick?
I'm sorry, Peter. Peter, very nice to meet you. I'm Kieran Moxon, your pro racing commentator. Now you have to explain me here. Where is that Michael? Mexican Iron Man, as they say. I heard many good things about him, of course.
He trims my hedges and mows my grass, and mows my wife's grass while he's at it. Yes, I have no idea what that means, but that's what he says.
Yeah, I heard I definitely heard that he's been the what did you Americans call the MILFs, the MILF king, the MILF man or something. I mean, if that's the case, there's probably a couple of married wives of football players in Cheshire.
Well, Cardinal Sin, thank you so very much for being a supporter of Peter Whalen. Forget that Loki guy. Come and see my new show, Morning and Dick with Peter. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. And here is your skull, a special skull for Makini 90, who's on the show today. Skull.
So, Wisher, skull.
Gave it a little kick there at the end.
Exactly.
I was like, bitch, plop.
Exactly. Sorry.
I was like, it's missing something.
I know, exactly.
It's missing something.
I'll put it this way. If you bring out your British accent, I got to do the same. I got to bring mine out. So I'm going to bring all two to go out. Which I haven't used Kieran as much, though. It's like tricky trying to do commentary in an entirely British accent. So.
Oh, dude, try keeping that up for an hour. I did that.
Try keeping that up for a couple hours.
God help me. No. After an hour, it was like my throat. No.
I'm just like I did get approval from some of our British audiences said I'm actually pretty good at it. It's just trying to make sure you keep that up without having it slip for a long period of time. That's the hard part.
So the description I put up today says,
yes,
he's an artist, an illustrator who posts weekly time-lapse videos and draw streams every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. And you were like, I've got to redo that.
Yeah, I got to redo that because that's actually 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
But who is he really? Oh, no. Oh no, Loki! What do you mean?
I like you called it. I like you see this as inside the actor's studio or something like that. Inside the YouTube content creator. Wasn't that the original name for YouTube Talk though?
Inside the studio.
Yeah, or something like that. Inside the content creator studio. That's what it feels like. This is like the true Hollywood story right now.
True Hollywood story of a man who wanted to draw with a troubled past.
Oh my
God!
Tell me that would not be interesting.
And then you've got the people, we knew him and we knew what happened behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Some fucking Karen that no one knows. We know what happened behind the scenes.
The best part is it'll be an actual documentary, not a perceived documentary, you know.
And then you got Mama Bear like beating the shit out of her, going, "I knew him, you bitch!" Plop, plop, plop. He was a wonderful man. Plop.
Exactly.
How dare you?
Exactly. It'll be more authentic than whatever Netflix is putting out right now. It'll be way more authentic. It'll be an actual documentary.
Oh my god.
But that means. But wait, if it is but if we do have to abide by Hollywood standards, so we have to race swap Arwen or basically any other redhead that I may have come in contact with in the past 3 years.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's an unfortunate thing.
Can't be redhead in the movie Arwen.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then we're gonna race swap you too.
Yeah, and then I'd probably have to do the same for pretty much Mama Bear and everybody else. Sorry, that's not my choice. That's Hollywood's choice, guys. I'm sorry. It's gonna have to be a case thing. So
let's start. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Start at the very beginning.
Yeah. Where do you want me to start at? That's the question.
Start at where you were at before YouTube.
Before
you started doing the drawstreams, before you decided I'm going to take the plunge, where were you at?
Okay, so I did kind of abridge, like, because I was funny. I was talking to Loki. I was like, do they want to hear the same story again? Because it was like, you know, we went through that with the 1K celebration last year. I went into full detail. I did kind of go into full detail, just kind of where I started at, and then surprisingly it ended with that stream ended with a lot of people tearing up. That was the weird part. Hopefully that won't be the case, but
Arwen would like to be played by Beyonce, please. She said, "Can Beyonce?"
I can make that happen. I could totally make that happen. No, so before YouTube, before I kind of started YouTube, and I've mentioned this before, that this was my third YouTube channel. When we this is
something we have in common.
Really?
Oh yeah. You gotta think that this channel was started in 2009, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It went through 2 different phases before it got to the phase it's at now. So originally it was short Star Trek music videos.
So I started my first channel was in basically when YouTube began, when I was in high school. So I was a junior or a sophomore in high school when YouTube started, and I cannot believe I'm still old enough to remember what the old kind of YouTube system was like, with the whole, you know, before the like and dislike, you know, we had the whole 5-star system. We had all the just kind of like, it was, you could tell it was off to, you know, what was going to happen. And back then, my first channel, I didn't have any skill, no power. I just made video game music videos with did you use Windows Movie Maker back in the
Yes, holy shit. Yes, I used Windows Movie Maker.
Yep. That's all I had. I was like,
yeah.
Okay, I just downloaded trailers and just made videos out of it, made music videos out of it. But that was like 2007, 2008, 2009. My second channel was a gaming channel, kind of similar to my Twitch channel. I dropped that in about under a year. And then the third time, I didn't realize I had a YouTube channel because, you know, when you set up your Google account and such like that, it gives you a channel already because YouTube's already bought up by Google and such like that. And I didn't do anything with it from 2014 up until 2019. I didn't do anything with that. But where I kind of started taking, of course, the pandemic happened, hence how I started doing YouTube, and hence, you know, with everybody being locked down and such like that. But that wasn't kind of the reason why I started it. Before YouTube specifically, I was building a name. I was just an I was just an art account on Instagram. I think I amassed nearly 7,500 followers during my time on Instagram. But how did I just kind of do specifically? I guess people want to know how do I specifically did this, or be able to do kind of stuff like what I'm doing now. So before kind of it was back in 2018, 2019. If you guys this was before, you know, TikTok really blew up. Instagram had this stories feature. It's where you could post. It's kind of like a TikTok format where you can post videos for up to 1 minute, and then they get deleted just after 24 hours. What I would do is I would take my camera, I would take my whatever my phone camera was, and just record a drawing that I was working on, because I was completely traditional, 100% traditional back in the day. And then I would post it up to Reels. I would post it up to Instagram stories, and that would just be kind of the thing I did, like once a week or a couple of times a week, of just me just recording for like 4 minutes or so, sped that up, and then just put that up in the Instagram stories feature, which I don't know if that's still there, but I think it's probably called Instagram Reels or something like that. So that was like the proto TikTok in a way for me, kind of doing something like that. Well, the weird thing was that, you know, in 2015, early 2016, you know, that's when, you know, we discovered all of this, you know, all this nonsense, the whole, you know, culture wars, you want to call it, you know, all of this, you know, and I was, you know, we were in the first kind of, you know, we were kind of in the front lines at that. 2017, early 2018. Early 2018 was when I discovered the original the OG High Council, because, you know, it was apologies if I'm going long-winded, but say what you will about that specific Star Wars film that has been banned from my channel, but the only good thing that I'll put it this way, we have to thank that round-headed idiot, because if it wasn't for that film, I wouldn't have discovered this entire group, this entire community. At the time, it was once known as the Fandom Menace. You know, I wouldn't have discovered the OG High Council, you know, Jeremy of G&G, Jeff Hicks of World Class BS, and of course Ethan Van Sciver. I was on that kind of of those three, the person that I watched the most was Jeff Hicks of World Class VSs, which I still do. So I was an avid super chat and super chat and such for about a year or so. Jeff was I always cite my two biggest inspirations will always be Jeff and John Talks, because they were the first people to shout me out. They were the first two people in this entire community to ever shout me out. So that was kind of how I kind of started to get some notice, some recognition. But to kind of go back to twinkle it back to Instagram, when I was doing the Instagram Reels feeds or Instagram stories all the time. It was just, you know, it was a way to just kind of add something more to the work that I kept posting up every week, all the drawings I post every week. Well, one of those, I didn't realize that one of the videos I did, one of the reels I did, one of the drawings I did, and it was at the time that there was a new Pokemon game that came out. And the funny thing is that whenever a new Pokemon game comes out and you reveal who the gym leaders are, you're gonna see like a whole like sea of fan art that's just gonna be just going all off on going just absolutely all over the place. And one of the recent gym leaders was revealed, and everybody was talking about her. Everybody was doing fan art of her, and I was like, okay, we'll do. I'll do the same. I was like, okay, I'll do the same. What I didn't realize was that I actually had the entire video. I actually recorded that entire drawing from start to finish, and I thought to myself, I was like, I got this YouTube channel that I've never used, and I was like, you know what? What the hell? I'll just put it all together and then just throw it on YouTube and just throw it there. That video blew up. I think it was a case of the right moment and right time, because that video just kind of blew up. But so through 2019 and into early 2020, through late 2019 into early 2020, late 2019 into mid to late 2020, all I did was time-lapse videos. All I did was time-lapse videos. And it's kind of funny because I'm going back to that. I'm circling back to that right now. It's I know it's kind of long way because it's like going all over different places, because it's like it's I start from one end but I go in the other end, but this is literally how I started, because it was just kind of different being part of different places and just being at the right moment, right time, just having that confidence to say. But when the streams begin, but in 2020, when the lockdowns happened and such, I've always cited that okay, so earlier I just cited that John Talks and Jeff were my two biggest inspirations because they were the first two people to shout me out. Well, what happened was that because every time I show up on John Talks' chat, he would always shout me out all the time, and he would shout out not only my Instagram, but he would shout out my YouTube channel at the time. So what happened was that he gave me a wrench. So he gave me my first wrench. And then I started through another YouTuber who's really good at modding, Tommy and the Getting Paid Collective. I learned from him to just kind of start learning how to be a mod. And then that's kind of how I got my name out even more, because I was just modding on different people's channels, such as Stephen Walton, Scott of Sporky News Podcast, Culture Casino, just modding on a lot of people's channels, and that's how I got my name out there. What kind of inspired me and at the time I was still making time-lapse videos. I was just being very active in the chat and just kind of getting my name out there. And then there were moments where I actually got to be able to come on streams like this and just kind of hang out with that, talk about different topics and such like that. And this was all in 2020. This was all during the lockdowns, the pandemic. What happened was, I realized I was kind of looking back and I was like, okay, I can do time-lapse videos like nothing, no problem. As a mod, I'm a mod on different people's channels all the time. I'm doing, this, that, and the third. And I was like, okay, I'm very comfortable to immediately just hop on and start hanging out, start talking, start getting into the conversations. And then I looked at the drawings I looked at the time-lapse videos that I did, and I was like, let's attempt a drawing stream. Let's attempt an art stream for the first time. So on Sunday, August 20th, 2020, and I remember that exact date. I will always remember that exact date. I grabbed my potato cam, which was my old camera. All I had was a microphone with a built-in headset, or built-in mic, earphones with a built-in mic. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I'm looking at Michael Gonzalez's comment. Sorry. I was taking a quick look at that. Sorry. Thank you for that. I have to keep that in. Steven Isaki's running the angles. All right, like Seems to dip lower, like it was always slipping over. Yeah, that's because of the angle itself. That's why. That was the angle, so that's kind of thing. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. But sorry.
No. You saw it. So no.
So when that time came, Sunday, August 23rd, 2020, I did my first live stream. I did my first ever drawing stream. And there, Makini Live was born. The first show, and that's I named that stream Makini Live after, of course, Gary with, of course, Nerdrotic with, of course, Nerdrotic Live. I wanted to do the same because he's also one of my biggest inspirations, and for the longest time, Gary was probably the only person in that I guess in the community, in the fandom and such like that. He's the only person who was anywhere near where I lived at, because he lived in San Francisco for a long time, and I lived in the Bay Area. I lived east. I lived near the East Bay, so that was so cool to kind of find somebody to see that there were other people that are out where I'm at. And now, granted, I actually found a lot more people. Who are in my proximity or close where I'm at in the Bay Area. I don't specifically say where I live at, but when people mention it's like, oh, they're from San Jose, or they're from say if they're from San Jose, or they're from Oakland or something, I was like, oh, that's insane. That is insane. That's insane. I was kind of see that. But the first episode of Makini Live, the first season, we was all about doing draw streams. Mads Mama Bear was my first ever guest, and and we always talk about this, is that how after I did that drawing stream, we talked for like 3 hours after it was over. What happened was, we kept that going. Soon it was Bruce Lombardo who got it going, who was constantly showing up, and I made him as part of the team, and then it became the original Three Musketeers, the original three. We had some people come in and come out, such as Rosetta, such as another friend of ours, Marco, but it was always been the three of us. It's always been that kind of the original three. So the idea, and I think it was, if I remember, it was Bruce's idea. I think it was Bruce's idea because I needed to have because he did bring up that, doing these draw streams every Sunday. Does she have one? She's an elf, guys. She's an elf. You see that? She's an elf. Sorry. I don't know if that was referring to my drawing. See, I pay attention to the chat too. No. Specifically, I think it was Bruce who said that, it's great that you're doing these shows every Sunday, but at some point, you will need to take a break. You will need to step away for a Sunday and take a Sunday off. And I think that hit me. That idea hit me, that what we can do is we can do a seasonal format. Hence why the current season that we're doing right now is the 9th season of Makini Live. I personally, for me, I love doing this seasonal format just because it gives me that time we can focus all on our attention on just like a specific set of months to do, and then take a couple of weeks off, set up the next season, set up all the themes and everything you're going behind the scenes and such like that, and then just go live, go at it, and just keep going at it. And then once we had a rhythm going, once a rhythm was starting to go, what we kind of set up was that we need to have, there are specific dates on our calendar that we have marked that are very important to me and to my channel, that we need to have. Okay, this will be the season finale. This will always be season finale. So if we do a show So, for example, if we do a show, if our season begins in March, it always has to end on May 7th or the week of May 7th because that's my birthday. That will always be the season finale for me. This is the exception, though. This season is the exception to that.
Okay, really quick before you get too far away from this, I just want to point out for anybody out there who's like, well, damn it, son. I mean, how hard is it to draw? Why do you need a break? He works full time too. So you're working full time, you're working a full time job, and you're doing this almost like it's a full time job too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
For anybody out there who's like, damn, how hard could it be to draw? Well, there's your answer. He works a full time job too, and this full time job.
So I gotta continue. Yes. Basically, kind of what you're saying is, in that, like, I knew from the first act, and to kind of hear what Loki said is like,
and he's modding on other channels. Thank you.
Well, it was, but I'm kind of more doing my own thing than I'm modding. But I'm still happy. I'll be able to mod when I need to. So, but because I think for now I think the only channel I really mod on is Mags. This is a Magitech Mags' channel, but Mags has a lot of mods on hers, so she. I'm just kind of the. I'm kind of her bouncer, her bodyguard on her channel. So, which that means yes, Mags is my Whitney Houston.
And I, yeah, will always love you. Yeah, that was way out of key.
Completely out of key. No, but
yeah, that's no Whitney Houston, Loki. Shush, quiet down. Let Makini talk.
No, but you have a great point. Is that I do have a full-time AR job because I knew just like how I saw with Instagram, just how I saw with everything else. As far as much as I love to be full-time on YouTube, this isn't sustainable. It just simply isn't for me. For me, it just simply isn't sustainable. I would, I hope that at some point down the line, I do find something that is sustainable enough to where I could be a full-time artist and illustrator. But I knew from the first hand that if I get monetized, YouTube this isn't going to be a sustainable thing. So I'll always have a steady income for me. That's for me personally. I'm just saying that for me personally, that's how I work better with. And how we do seasons, back to kind of the seasonal format that we do with Makini Live. Our special dates are always the birthday stream. And then whenever we have a stream in the summer, like this season is going to go all the way through the summer, the finale has to end on the anniversary, which will be the week of August 23rd. That is, in this case, this will be our 3-year anniversary coming up in August. So this season, the current season 9 that we're on, is going to end on Sunday, August 20th. So that was always been our thing. And then after the anniversary season, the next season begins in September, or late September, early October, and then we just go all the way to the end of the year. And then just have I think with last year, our season ended in, the last, it was the last Sunday before Christmas, because apparently, it was a weird thing. if you have a Christmas that falls on a Sunday, we have to end the stream. We have to end the season like the Sunday before Christmas, or just the week before Christmas. Either that
Mags is in the chat, and she says good morning.
I see her.
I had to point that out. Good morning, exactly. Mags.
Good morning, Mags. But and that's just kind of how we did. And that's just kind of how Makini Live kind of came to be, and kind of became much more, involved, much more prominent and such like that, was because through my own, you started out as just being a super chat or being a fan of so many other channels, but then, the moment you strike out and do your own thing, and then now you look at yourself like 2 years later, you've become you have become that household name. You have become that you've become the thing you always wanted to be. You know, when you started a YouTube channel, you've become that. And I am very grateful of just looking back at, you know, the past couple years. It's really, I'm grateful about that. I'm grateful that I did this. And it does, but there's always been that wonder that if I started, say if I started in like 2018, if I actually started my channel in 2018 or so, I probably would have been monetized a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the same. I said the same thing. If I'd have just pulled the trigger and done more and took it more seriously, and
at the height, yeah.
You know.
You know what? It's amazing. It's amazing how life works. It's amazing how life works itself out. You know.
I'm happy things worked out the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You know, I wouldn't be getting married. I wouldn't be, you know, living how I'm living.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be the same. So no, I'm happy.
You know, the funny, and that's the kind of the funny thing is that I think the funny thing was that no matter if it was pandemic or not, I would have started my channel. I would have started my channel anyway. I think it would have been that I would eventually became a content creator just because I have that experience in being able to do work while live on camera, being able to record videos and such like that. I probably would have started my channel I would have done it. I would have became a YouTuber eventually.
I've got 2 quick super chats, and I want to change gears a little bit because I want to talk about where you're going. Yes. Mr. Buttcrack Media with a $5.50 Canadian super chat says, "Love your work, Makini. You are very talented."
Thank you.
And Snowdub with a $2 super chat says, "Go and talk and roll." Thank you so very much. Snowdub.
Thank you, brother.
Super chat. Guys, we've got a special Makini skull this morning just for him. Why? Because he said he loves Kim. Skull!
You know what? I thought about this just right now. I missed the opportunity to do it like a to just do a skull like a Mexican soccer commentator.
Skull! Yeah.
But so now on the topic of where we're going,
Mags has a real quick question. Like you, she's talking to you. Like you, I started in chat modding. How do you balance your channel with everyone else and maintain connections, a presence with the job?
I will tell you this. Before I answer your question, Mags. I will tell you this first thing. You are doing that fantastically. You're doing that. That's not a word. You're doing that. You're doing that absolutely fantastic.
Sure, it is.
You're doing it.
Say that. We just need the glitter sound from Daryl the Derelict.
Yeah, exactly.
You can say fantastical. It's okay.
No. But you're doing that way better than I was doing, Mag. So, but for me, I looked to YouTube the way I look to my Instagram, in that you have to do this at your own pace. That's the most important thing, and I'm not gonna brief on the whole, you know, my journey to 1K, because I've already I feel like exhausted that to a T. But you have to go at your own pace, and that's to everybody here. That's to everyone here. You set the pace, not YouTube, not the algorithm, not anything else. And this applies to not just YouTube, but to your life in general, to social media, to everything else. You set the pace. All YouTube is doing is just working it around you. So you have to set the pace for yourself. It does create that feeling of you have to be consistent, but we have lives outside of YouTube. Everybody
That's
does.
right. And some people forget that.
Mhm.
There was a creator that I was on with, this was a little while back, that got on to somebody because they said they weren't taking their channel seriously. They weren't taking their content seriously. And I said, look, you have no idea what's going on in their life. You have no idea what they're dealing with, their juggling job, whatever. Don't press as hard on that. Like, you know, if you took your channel more seriously, you would have this and this. Well, you don't know what they're going through. You don't.
First off, think about guys, think about the big channels like we follow. Think about people like Jeremy the Quartering. Think about a lot of those guys. Like, yeah, these guys are putting like videos like every like 5-6 videos a day, but you know, it is their business. This is a business for them. In the same time, they probably running businesses as well. That's probably how they do it. And also think about it this way. You also factor in is that, you know, you're not doing this. Some channels aren't doing this alone. You know, Culture has Mr. Grant Gregory editing his videos for him, doing those things for him. Think about that. You probably have people who are willing to help you, or people that you do hire to help make you videos, to help you get your content, get your channel constantly going, you know, every day. There's multiple factors when it comes to that. It's not an easy job to do video a day. For me, I can't. I realize the limits. I've understood that my limits, and this is to Mags. What Mags was saying after. Mags was saying, or just earlier, was that I realize that I have a limit. I realize that I can't draw as fast as, say, anybody else who can just whip something like this in under like 6 hours and then just throw it up there. I can't. What I do takes time. I can't just throw this up every single day and something like that and just go. Like, no. At some point, you have to limit yourself. You have to limit yourself and see what you're capable of doing. Think about what you're capable of doing for now and just work from there. Just start slow from there. And then maybe build yourself up, or maybe just find that rhythm, find that groove, and just find that's your pace. So to answer kind of what other people are definitely saying, and I'm Mags, and I hope you're listening to this, the burning out part was something that catches me all the time. That is my fear. That is one of my biggest fears, is burning out.
Really quick, Jester's Darth Arlena, who has been a member for 1 year, gifted 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. Thank you so very much, Arlena. Ryan Roger Ape was gifted a membership. Classic Comics was gifted a membership. Brightest Day Audiobooks and Science Fiction was gifted a membership. Apollome's Minion was gifted a membership, and Hephaestus was gifted a membership. Thank you so very much, Arlena. And she says, Mac, you're very talented, and I'm a little jealous because I have no talent. Goal.
I'm gonna get to that question. I'm gonna get to that comment as well. But yeah.
Let me send out the Viking horde to meet the new Valhallian. Skull!
Oh no,
he's still doing it.
I was gonna have that goal. No, but
God.
I want to address Max's comment about the feeling of burning out. Now, that is something I always have to think about. And the thing is that has always been my biggest fear, is me burning out. Because, you know, you're doing this all the time, and you're at some point you do have to take a break and such like that. for me, it's not burning out because of, being constantly working, burning out because of my own expectations. So there was a moment, and I'm not done yet. I think you're welcome, Max, but let me just explain. There was a few weeks ago, I was feeling very, very miserable at my job. I was feeling very miserable. The reason why it took, I had to explain why this took so long for season 9 of Makini Live to get off the ground was because I was working behind the scenes trying to get everything done. And then I just had that week where I was just completely on the verge of burning out. I was feeling very miserable. And you guys were everybody was probably watching that stream on Friday. Remember, I know exactly what I was talking about. So what happened was because I found out the reason why I was close to burning out was that I was setting too many deadlines for myself. Like, think about this way.
I remember this.
Okay, so let me, let me, and I had to put the pen down because I think I feel a lot better explaining it this way. That caused it to happen because I was setting myself. I had too much deadlines, and it came to a point where I realized that if I keep setting this deadline to do this, to get this out, I'm not going to be able to get it out, or I'm going to be struggling. I'm not going to feel happy about doing this. It's going to feel like a chore. It's going to feel like I'm obligation to do this, and I'm not going to get any personal enjoyment out of this. You guys see my iTunes. That's my thing. Don't worry, it's not playing. It's not actually playing. It's just I had to keep that up. But I adjusted my mindset. I've adjusted to this mentality of it'll be ready when it's done. And moving forward, that's what I'm doing with my channel from moving forward is it'll be ready when it's done. I'm not giving myself any more hard deadlines to get stuff done. I am not. I would rather okay. Sorry. Hopefully y'all didn't see my real name there for just a second. My freaking notification, sorry. Oh, we had an incident off topic. We did have a moment. We had a moment in one of my sketch diary videos where, let's put it this way, it's a moment when your real life friend from high school discovers your YouTube channel and has no idea that you use an alter ego. So when they comment the first time, they actually say your real name. It's like, oh shit.
Kevin, is that you, Kevin? Damn, man, it's been forever. You remember when we went to Beaumont High together, man? It's me, Philip. It's Philip, man. Kevin Anderson. It's been forever since I seen you, man. Son of a bitch. Delete everything. Moderators.
Don't worry, it was only one time. So it was only one time, and I let her know. I let her know later on. It was like, hey, shit. It's so good to see you. Just from now on, just please don't say my real name out loud. Just say, just call me Makini and such like that. And it's kind of funny thing because it's like I've told, and that is a funny thing because because I've built such a strong connection with a lot of people. In a lot of people here, Loki, Fats, Mads, Bruce, Mags. These are there are only a handful of people who have actually revealed my real name too. So but that just shows how much I trust them, how much I trust them a lot. So they always still refer to me as Makini, even behind the scenes. There's always just Makini to me. But I just lost my train of thought. No, but the no deadline rule is real person. The no deadline rule is kind of helped me a lot. Because I'm not having to shut up, Fats.
Mm-hmm.
You're making me listen to train of thought.
That's okay. He eats shitty Mongolian beef. Thank you so much, Pat Steven Seagal, for that $2.20 Canadian super chat.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. I love you too. Okay. Okay. Train of thought. Okay. Y'all freaking just give me on this. So you know the
Bubba Nipples O'Brien. Bubba Nipples. Oh shit! Are you serious? Are you from Texas?
Yes.
Oh no shit!
You didn't know that?
No, I thought you were a California boy.
No. Okay, so here's a funny thing. That southern accent, because I've been here in California for more than a decade, that southern accent, it takes a bit for me to get that southern accent out. You have to either get me very angry or to get me at a certain point where that natural southern boy just comes right out. But no, yes,
we're gonna have to talk about like where you grew up. Yeah.
So I won't be specific, but
yeah,
I grew up in North Texas. So
okay, around Dallas Fort Worth area.
Dallas Fort Worth. If you want to be a little more specific, I grew up in Garland. Actually,
holy shit, dude!
I grew up in Garland.
So I moved to Decatur back in like around 06, 07, and was for like 3 years until I moved to Gainesville.
I was in
that sucked.
I lived around Garland.
Don't go to Gainesville.
Don't go to Gainesville. Okay.
Don't stop in Gainesville. It may look like, oh look, they've got food places to stop and eat at. Don't stop.
My best friend lived in Gainesville.
It's the black hole of Texas. Once you go in, you never get out.
That's true. Because that's much further from Van Alstyne is where my grandparents live. So, but no, I grew up in you want me to more specifically? I grew up in Garland. I will not say the specific town that I grew up in, but I lived down there around there for most of my whole life. Actually, I will actually argue with you. Actually, I would argue before I moved out to California, I realized that everywhere I lived, I was always close to Plano. I was always close to Plano. Always. No matter where. I lived close to Plano. Before I moved out to California, I lived in North Dallas, which is I lived off the whole highway intersection between North Dallas, Plano, Frisco, and Louisville. So I was like, yeah, but that's always been my stopping grounds. But I just realized that I've always lived near Plano. So, but I moved out here to Northern California, specifically living further south from where San Francisco is, and then moving over to the east side, a little further from where Oakland is. But yeah, coming from that, so that's kind of my origin. So it's the funny thing is that it's always so insane because everybody and a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat are saying this, like, you know, they live in specific parts of Texas and stuff. So I'm like, it's absolutely insane to not only to find people who lived in Texas, but the people who lived in specifically where you grew up at.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like a couple people I knew was like, oh my God, you guys lived right where I was born. I was born in Richardson. I was like, oh my gosh. You guys are out there. You guys living out there. I remember that place. I always remember my old. I remember just like where everything is. And sometimes I'll just look up where it looks like now, and it's like, wow, it changed so much from where I was back in high school. So it's always been That's always been a thing. And you got a super chat from Jun Wong.
Jun Wong with a $10 Australian super chat. Hail Loki, hail Makini. Can I ask you two for a bit of help? My boss has launched the book I worked on, and I think we got a message problem. Can you check my shout out, super chat, and the IGG? Thank you. Shout out, super chat.
Oh my gosh, are we you saying we're closely related that ever are with? It's crazy.
I haven't seen your shout out super chat. I don't have it on my panel. I don't have it on my
Daryl was in Fort Worth. Okay.
I can't go back that far. Okay. Just put whatever you got. We'll post details at the end of the show.
I'm not going to hijack.
Okay. All right, brother.
Gotcha.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the $10 super chat, brother. You absolutely rock.
Let's say we'll post in 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Tell us where you are going.
Okay.
I wanted to get to that, and unfortunately we are running out of time.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll try to really try.
You don't have to go too fast. I'm more concerned with your time. If we go a little over, I don't care. So
now, where am I going? Where do I want to be? So, when I broke off from the group that I was a part of, with, not TFM, which I broke that off way beforehand. And I've always said I'm not a part of the, I'm not really part of, I don't line myself with the fellowship, the gathering, you call it, only because I want to be independent. I want to be completely independent. I don't want to be tied to any specific group other than my own. And that's something I learned from Fats. I want to be completely independent. And that was, the best thing that's one of the best things that's ever happened to my channel, was just becoming this independent entity and just kind of building the CSF Nation, building my own base, building my own lunch table. I know we went through this a long time ago about lunch tables, and I'll always happy be invited to any lunch table. But, I just never want to be tied down to a lunch table. I would rather be my own, be kind of
about the barbecue.
Yeah.
I
would rather
go to everybody's barbecue.
Go to everybody's barbecue and start your own.
Yeah.
Go to everybody's barbecue and start your own.
I've been saying that since day one.
And that's
when you can't let people get upset with you about that either.
Exactly.
You can't let people be like, well, why aren't you coming over to my lunch table or barbecue exclusively? Matt, you should be just coming to my barbecue and nobody else's. No, that's
exactly. That's what it's all about, and that's how I figured that's the best way for me to grow, is that you cannot rely so heavily on, because before I was relying heavily on shout outs. I relied heavily on so many other people to just, boost me up. But it's like, you have to put in the work. You have to put into work. You want to be recognized for on your own merits. You want to grow on your own terms. You want to grow on your own by what you do on your channel. That's how you want to draw people in. That's what I want to draw people in, is through my own content. That's what I want to. That's what I'm aiming for. Moving forward, I have to say this one more time. I have to thank every single person who super chatted. I have to thank every single person who got me to this point. I have to thank every single one of my channel members. And I know we share, not only do we our chat interlock, we share similar chat, but we also share some of those people in the chat are also CSF Nation members on my channel too. And that's really cool to see that. And I've always said this, and I will always continue to say this. If it wasn't for you guys, and I mean that, if it wasn't for the chat, if it wasn't for my channel members, if it wasn't for the super chats, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I would not be doing this completely digitally right now. what you're doing. I have dang it. I don't know. Should I bring my camera out? Because that's going to take a couple seconds for me to do that.
It's up to you, brother.
Okay.
If you want to, by all means.
I'll make it quick. Try to make it quick. But this thing that I'm drawing on right now, it's because of the support from these guys. Seriously. I knew it. I knew it.
June Wong with a $50 Australian super chat says, previously on Clownfish TV is a new collection of official comic strips based on true stories from our favorite YouTube family. It includes how Kenan met Geeky Sparkles, the tale of their epic 80 toys, and their run in with the evil Kevin Smith. Thank you, June Wong, for that super chat. Guys, make sure you are subscribed over on Clownfish TV.
So,
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so they've been promoting that all this week, and a little bit of last week. That and I didn't realize that was Jun Wong who did all those comic strips. So yeah, he's done a comic strips based on all the big moments of Clownfish TV, and that is so cool to see, man. Seriously, that is freaking amazing. So, but what I want to share with you guys is that if it wasn't for this, sorry, it's upside down, but if it wasn't from this incredible support that you guys have, I wouldn't have gotten this tablet that I'm drawing on. So what you guys are seeing is directly from my my tablet. This freaking, I think this is like $455 $100 tablet, but that was all based on the super chat, based on all the super chats that I got, all the just the general support from you guys. So you guys, I owe it all to y'all for giving me the confidence to do this. And ever since I made the jump to digital, that I feel like it's opened so many doors for me, being able to do so much more work and being able to fully integrate myself, fully realize that I have become this, that I am becoming the thing that I always wanted to be on YouTube. Is I want to be a legitimate art channel. I want to be a legit art channel. I can't be, I don't think I'll ever achieve the heights of, say, like a Ross Draws or a Ross Draws or an Ergo Josh or Jin's art, or even say a Mark Brunette. I don't know if you're familiar with this channel. His name is Mark Brunette. He's one of the big art channels. He's a former senior concept artist at Blizzard, but I don't think I'll ever be that big of a channel, but I do want to be recognized as a legitimately art channel, a legit art channel who can be able to do stuff like this on a daily basis and just be able to put, high quality work with just on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. And that's what we're kind of doing right now, is going back to doing time lapses. I'm streaming 3 days. I'm going to be streaming 3 days a week now. I'm going to be doing 3 drawing sessions a week now. So that's the way to do it. That's how I'm doing it. I don't bring, I'm going to try not to bring up, the memberships that I do here. Is that, what you guys seeing with this elf fighter here, this is for my channel members. So what I do is I do weekly, I do art batches. I do art drops at the end of each month. I do exclusive art, high res art for my channel members. So they get art drops at the end of each month. And one of those is always voted on by my channel. So I'll show you guys this real quick. So if it sounds like I'm trying to promote my memberships, yes, and I apologize for that.
No reason to apologize for that.
No, but so I do. This is what I do. This is how I can give back to the members, give back to my channel members, and this is the Nami one, and this was the one that my all my channel members voted on. So that's going to be in this month's batch for everybody here. And then we have the Elf Fighter, which that's going to be added to everybody's batches, and they're getting they're getting a whole bunch of goodies, such as how I do this step by step, steps, different variations. I'm working I'm putting stuff like, and a lot of people in the chat can tell you that they really love you could tell though who was actually my member because they could talk, because they'll say that they love the stuff that I was putting out each month. And I started doing this when we got monetized, when we got memberships going. I started doing this in October, and then I told everybody, was like, all your super chats, all of your super chats, all of your memberships and stuff, it's going towards this. It's going towards giving back to the channel, and it went towards this. This was the first step for me. So moving forward, I'm going to be back in creator mode moving forward, pumping out more content on a consistently weekly basis, bringing the sketch diary out again. That is, if you guys don't know, and that's a very special thing I want to share, is that this was a project that I did. I started at the start of 2022, and the goal of this project, of this series, is a sketch diary where I am going to be filling, and this is a personal goal. I have never filled out an entire sketchbook before, and I have like 30-40 different sketchbooks in my closet right now. I have never filled out in a single one. So that's what this project was for, was all about. We fill out every single page in the sketchbook, and every page is a video. Every page is a video, and that's kind of like my YouTube talk in a way, like my Monday YouTube talk video, if you think about it. But I do a page, each page a week, and then I record and I just talk about whatever topics that I have or whatever's on my mind and whatever is kind of my inspiration. But I'm going to get back into this because I do want to fill out every single page in the sketchbook. That's a personal goal for me, for the channel, and I'm saying not in terms of style goals, and not in terms of just kind of number goals. Is like, of course, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K. It's like at some point I would love to be a 5K channel at some year, but that'll probably be years and years down the line if I stay the course. But I'm going to expand. I'm going to expand into other platforms, such as starting up a Rumble, moving into Patreon. A subscribe star is an alternative way of supporting my channel. And what I want to do is I want to do special drawing challenges, stuff that I can get the community into, have more not only just guests on, but more artists on, or convince people to start drawing, convince people to start getting into art in some way, shape, or form. I hope at some point that I can do this long enough to where I can start doing, where I can actually become artist journeyman and art teacher, where I can start teaching people how to do this, how to do that. I'm not a good teacher, so that's what I'm aiming for. But I want to be able to create, have like a master class or something like that, or how to master class, something like that, for that kind of series or something like that for the channel. And ultimately the goal is to continue not just growing the channel, but to continue inspiring people to get into art, to get to see the world from an art, not just from my point of view, but to see the world from an artist's point of view, from the point of view of a creator, from the point of view of somebody who has that imagination. It's like, you can't, you can teach people how to do this or that, but you can't teach them the mentality that but you might not be able to teach them the mentality that you have. And I think that's in some ways that I feel like that's what's made me unique, was that you have this mindset, you have this unique view of the world around you. And I don't think that can be replicated. But what I would love to do is to really tell people, to show people, people who want to get into art, people who want to continue, who want to start drawing, is like, you guys can do this. You guys can do this. I did this because I didn't stop. Hence why I use that hashtag never stop drawing. That has been my lifelong, that has been basically my journey. This is a journey for me. This entire thing has been my journey. It has been my, that's what it is. So I call myself a journeyman and all the time. And now we're getting to the sentimental part where everybody's going to start tearing up.
Well, we've got a couple of really good messages here. Mom Bear says, I've been trying to get him to hear it for 3 years. He is an artist. Arwen Avalon says, yes, Mac, you're an inspiration to help light that fire in artists.
Yeah. But
Project Cambrian, Makini, Bub, don't make me come on your stream and spank you with a wet trout. Just tell you are a legit artist. Maybe I'll use a flounder. Ooh, the flounder from Little Mermaid. I can see that. Mac from Magitech Mags, you are an artist. What are you talking about? You just keep getting better and better every time you draw.
Yeah,
challenge yourself and keep stretching.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that, being a part of this specific...
Memes, how dare you take care of your members and not just take my money?
How about, let me put it this way. My channel members, they go that extra mile for me. I have to do the same, because I have to do the same. If you guys are going to give so much to me, then I have to give back that just as much. Like whenever I do, like when I do like birthday streams and such like that, when I do like the birthday streams and such, I don't make it about me. I make it about y'all. Whenever we hit the milestones, I always make it about y'all, because it's, I wouldn't be doing this without the support from you guys. I mean it every time. I mean it when I say I don't deserve to have an audience like you.
Sure,
you guys. I don't deserve it.
Sure you do. Okay.
So
anybody here can understand what you're saying. I can, because I've said the same shit. I've said it. I mean it. I've meant it. However, things change, and you do deserve the accolades. You do deserve what these people are saying. You do deserve to consider yourself an art channel. You are an artist. You do deserve that.
I understand that.
You might not have felt that way a couple years ago when you started this, but things have changed, and you deserve this.
And the reason I bring that up is because this space, this has been such an amazing experience, being a part of YouTube, being a part of this experience here. And I feel that I don't want, and I realize that all of this, everything that we've amassed, everything that has been created, everything, just all the experience I have, all that can be taken away immediately. Just like that. All that can be taken away. I don't take it for granted. I don't take anyone for granted. I don't take anything for granted. That's why I feel like for that, I have to work for that. I have to work to earn that. Because
you have to keep working.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but you've earned this. See, this is the thing. You have earned this. You've earned it. You put in the time. You put in the effort. You are extremely talented. You worked your ass off. You worked 2 jobs, which a lot of YouTubers do not do. They don't work 2 jobs. They just want to try and do this. And when it doesn't work out the first couple of months, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this didn't work out. And shit, it just didn't. Get over it. Like I said, and you said 3 times. I've tried this 3 times. You've tried this 3 times. What you have done is you have built something brick by brick. And it's the people that build that up brick by brick. And they're the ones that that deserve that the most. And that's
But
what you've done.
But I would argue, but it was just more than just YouTube. It was just me as an artist in general.
Did you take anybody's stuff and make it your own?
No.
Did you ever pretend to be someone you're not? Did you ever copy anybody else's shit? You have gotten here on your own.
learned. I just learn. I just inspire. I get inspired from you guys. I just learn from you guys, and that's how I build it. That's how I build it.
Right there. Right there. What Mag said and what you just said. If you build it, you built it.
Right. And
you deserve this. Now, can you get like, well, I'm Mr. Big Shot, or I've got a big head? Sure you can, but you don't. So you need to accept the fact
I'm too grateful. I'm too humble for that.
I know you're too humble for that. Trust me. I know. But you need to accept the fact that you are talented. You are talented, and you deserve to be where you're at. Now, you can say, I don't know if I deserve to be at 10,000 or 20,000. Until you get there, that's fine. Where you're at right now, you deserve to be there because you've earned it.
Right. And that's another thing that I want to stress out so importantly is that the word is talent. It's like, guys, let me tell you this right now. That's great being known to be knowing to be talented. I know that. For me personally, I want to be more than just talent. Everything you see here is not everything you see on screen is more than just talent. I had to stumble and fall every time to get to where I'm at. I had to not stop. I had to fail a lot. I had to work for it. So as everybody says, like pure talent. So no, I am more than just talent. I am more than just talent. I am basically everything that my family has basically bestowed in me when I was young. And that
stubborn as shit too.
Stubborn, hardworking. This took skill. This took something to study at. People will appreciate. Yeah, you can see everything at face value, but then you look close and you see all of the work that went into it. You try to elevate. You're trying to elevate. What you're trying to do is trying to elevate it so much more than what it is. And that's what I always try to do whenever I turn this tablet on, whenever I sketch my book and everything, whenever I turn my next page of my sketchbook or something, I always try to elevate it more because that's what I see. I analyze, I see, and I appreciate so many little things. That's what I want everybody else to see. More than just the TNA. Yes, that's such a great thing, and that's something that's very needed. But I do want people to see that there's so much more underneath. That there's a lot of substance within the style. There's a lot of substance behind it. It's like how we see with if you want to think about it, that's how we see with pop culture. That's how we're seeing with pop culture now. That's how we're seeing with all of these things that are going on right now. There's a lot of style or lack thereof, but there's no substance. There's nothing underneath. When you have these companies, these corporations, these people, activists, they espout, this, that, and the third all the time, virtue signal, all these talking points and such like that. When you break it down, there's no substance behind it. There's almost nothing. It's almost hollow. Like you look to a I know this is going so long. I apologize, everyone.
No, don't apologize at all. No, we go as long as you want to talk, brother, as long as you have time.
Look to a Marvel film right now. What do you see? You don't see a lot of substance there.
No, it's all flash.
It's all
It's all
flash.
CG and flash. Yeah.
Yeah. When you break it down, when you look closely, there's nothing. When you look to something that has a message behind it, that has a political message, or it has an approach to has a just that approach to that, having that mindset, there's nothing. There's nothing intricate about it. Think about that. How that's I think I'm because I'm realizing this is like now is like how I want to see how I want everyone to see the work that I do, that it's not all just talent, is how I want to see what's going on right now in our modern myths, our pop culture, in stuff like Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, everything. You want to see, you want to be of substance. You want to be of both style and substance. You can do both. You can be able to achieve both. Companies are not doing that. It's not substance. There's barely any substance, and any substance that is there is often hollow, is often meaningless, is often it doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't help their cause. When you break it down, that's what I'm seeing. A lot of stuff that I see out there isn't helping their own cause. They're not. Are they actually fighting for what they're spouting? Is there substance behind that? Because the world isn't black and white. The world is a lot of gray areas. There is. I have spouted this for the better part of a year. Why I don't associate with specific groups, because it's hollow. There's no legitimacy behind it. There's always nefarious people underneath who undermine it. There's how do I describe it? There's no genuineness. Like, not everybody thinks the same way. Not everybody is going to believe the same way. The reason why I'm so happy to become, why I'm so proud to become an independent, is because there is a mindset that you have to abide by. Otherwise, you're out the club. You're out the group. You're not getting support. You're getting canceled. You're getting nothing. This, that, and the third. It goes deeper than that for me. It goes into, you're not tied by your affiliation. You're not tied by who you associate with. You're not tied by this right here. You're not tied by your skin color, your sexuality, your gender, whatever. They don't define who you are. They don't define that. They don't define who you are. They don't define where you're going. They shouldn't define that. You're more than, I will happily say this, you are way more than what people see at face value. And I say that to everyone. However, whenever I criticize things, whenever you see me criticize, whenever you see me kind of criticize, talk to and say this and that and the third, I always try to see it from a human being perspective. Because at the end of the day, we're human beings. That person across the screen is a human being. The people in the chat, those are human beings. You're defined by your actions. You're more defined by by the content of your character. So whenever I see situations like this where you're attacking, or you're where you attack another person, or you go as far as to say, and I will bring this up, the whole thing again, the whole the whole situation with Riley Gaines at San Francisco State University, the way I see that is these specific individuals are doing something truly horrible, and they're making themselves look bad, and they're making their cause look bad. They're making the thing that they're trying to fight for look bad. You can't paint an entire group. You can't paint an entire group like that. And I've had those moments where I've caught myself painting the entire group. But it's like, you can't. You have to look at it from an individual point of view. I have to look at it as from an individual's perspective. Hence why, and I will bring this up, why I was very adamant on when, Overlord DVD was the way that he was approaching everybody who gave Star Trek, the third season of Picard, a chance. The reason I had a personal problem with that, because you're doing the very thing that we're supposed to be fighting against. You can't lump everybody into this one spot. You can't lump everybody like that, because that's not how we were raised like that. That's not how that's not how we're supposed to be against that. Hence why I'm so very much individualism. If anything, if that's the thing that I'm probably an activist for, is individual thought, individual thinking for yourself, speaking for yourself, and not letting someone or others represent you, who you are. The worst thing that I can say to a person is, you have lost the right to your own humanity. You don't ever get to call yourself a human being from the heinous acts that you do. And, you see that on Twitter. What I see on Twitter is I see a lot of people who are like, you are doing something horrible and it's not helping your cause. It's making yourself look bad. And you're at the break point where I don't even acknowledge you as a human being anymore. You lose that right. You lose that very essence. You have to be there's that human element that has to come into play at some point. You have to realize is like, listen, not everybody's going to think the same way. Not everybody's going to see the world the same way. You have to appreciate that. This is a melting pot. You have to appreciate other people's opinion. Listen, Loki, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
What would it be like if we just agreed on everything?
Oh, it'd suck.
It would be boring. It would just be boring.
But when there's this thing that happens, and right. I think it happens around somewhere between 5 and 10K, where you get this thing where I can't be wrong. Exactly. I've always got to be right. And it usually starts to kick in around then and gets progressively worse. Right. It's called YouTube. I call it YouTube sickness. It's YouTube sickness. It's I'm so great, I can't be wrong. I'm so great, I can't be wrong. And it's up to us, people like us, to dodge that and not let that ever affect us.
No.
But what happens is you will get this group of people, these people that think that they have to protect you and they have to fight for you and they have to say what you're saying. And then they will start shit. So sometimes it's not even something you said, it's something that the people that follow you say.
Exactly.
So it's not just how you react to something, it's how they react to something too. And no, you can't control that. However, when you're a creator and you said anyone who likes this is an instant Yahtzee, or you say anyone who likes this is a shill, an employee, or a puppet of CBS, it's the exact same thing.
Exactly.
It's the exact same thing.
Exactly. Everybody's a human being, including Grace Randolph. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. They just have bad takes and just they just spew nonsense. Um, but but exactly, it's like, I everybody's dream is they want to be this big, like, you know million sub channel, or having this huge channel and base, wanting to be, everybody wants to be a Gary, everybody wants to be a G&G, everybody wants to be, they even want to be a Mike. Yes, the reason I say that is because even though Mike, even though he doesn't think he's a YouTuber, even though he has a small, even though he has, even though he is a YouTuber, even though he may not have a big channel, he has that big of an influence. Everybody wants to have that big of an influence on this platform. But the thing is that there's a responsibility, there's a risk behind it. You have to, if you do get the chance to grow and be able to, and you know what, it can be through luck, it can be through just constantly putting out good content, getting your word out there. Regardless of how you get there, understand that there's going to be a pressure, there's going to be responsibility in that you've amassed this large following. You just have to remember that, listen, you got to continue to stay humble. You got to stay humble. You have to be grateful of what you got, because that can all go away. They can all be taken away. You have, and we've seen time and time again of people who are too big people who have gotten too big for their britches or gotten, and then just completely throw it all away with something they said or something they said or done. Like I was tuning into Saggy Melon's stream after Makini Live, and the situation going on with the person that she was bringing up is a shining example of that, of somebody who has amassed
called her a cocoa butter cup.
Yeah, someone who's amassed a big following, who's gotten recognition, who knows these big names on a first name basis, and then just throws it all away. It just immediately just dashes. All of it is gone when you let your ego get in the way, or when you say something that just really is just like out of line. That's just inhuman to say, or it just this, that, or the third. You have to. If I make it to where I am at like a 5K or a 10K channel, that'll be an incredible milestone. Don't get me wrong. But you have to remember, is like, listen, you can never forget the people that brought you there. You can never forget them. Never forget them. And always appreciate the people that bring you to this point. Yes. Always be grateful for that. Don't let that go to your head. Always, like, if I ever hit that point, and I hope I do, and I'm always going to be hungry. Not hungry for more subs, but hungry for more quality. Hungry to always continue to produce the content that got me to that point, that got me to 5K in the first place. Always hungry to improve myself, because you have an audience now. You have people who have brought you this point, people who will watch you day in, day out. You make sure you appreciate them. Make sure you appreciate them. Make sure you appreciate them, and make sure you remain humble. Make sure you treat yourself as if you were a small channel, as if you were just a small channel amongst everybody else. Come down to earth. In other words, bring yourself down to earth. Make sure you stay down to earth. Make sure you stay the same humble person, the same genuine person that got you to that point, that got you to that point. Make sure you stay there. Because that can all be gone. That can all be taken away. You can't let that ego get the best of you. You can't let that,
what's funny? and we're gonna close with this.
Yeah.
Close
Go
with
ahead.
this topic. The person that inspired me to do this, the person that said go forth and make content, told me one day I would understand the hell that is being a content creator.
Exactly.
And my response to that now is the only hell we live in is the hell we create for ourselves.
Exactly.
This is what you make of it.
Exactly.
So make
It's
it a
what you
good
make
one.
of it.
In the words of Doc Brown, life is what you make of it, Marty. So make it a good one.
Make it a good one. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
Jude Wong with one last super chat. Thank you, brother. Yes, this is the moral of the story of Dragon Ball. Great attitude, Makini.
And that's the thing. It's like, listen. We're on a platform where more and more, it's not, it's not supporting us. It's not supporting the little guys. It's not supporting the people who built this platform. And I've understood that. So what you do is you expand, you grow as much as you can, you expand out. So you always have a backup plan. You always have that, and just make the most of what you got on this platform, because I guarantee at some point with YouTube's trajectory, we're probably all going to be yeeted off at some point. We're probably going to be yeeted off. So make the most of it. Yeah. Make the most of it. It's a timeshare. That's to say, it's definitely a timeshare, but you have those experiences. You make sure that, if you do migrate, when you migrate over to another platform, that you have those memories, that you don't lose, that you see this as a foundation. See this as a foundation to build from, to build your empire, to build your following, to build your base, because you can expand this out, because it can go beyond YouTube, and you can become what you always wanted to be, what you always wanted to achieve. But you just gotta make sure you stay humble about it. And I will, and I'm gonna close off, and I'm gonna tell Loki this. I don't know. I don't remember him telling. I don't remember if he heard me say this, but motherfucker, we're all legit. Okay, don't let. I'm gonna tell, and I'm saying this to everybody in the chat right now, and I want y'all to listen to me right now. Don't let anyone, and I mean anyone, tell you that you're a dead channel. Don't let anyone tell you that. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not legit, that your opinions, what you feel isn't legitimate. You decide that. You decide that. Because I was fired up when I heard Loki say that. I was fired up. I don't care. And I'm gonna tell you, and I know Loki's listening right now, because I'm gonna tell him straight up, directly. I don't care whose mouth it comes from. It could be a big channel that you will follow, admire. It could be a small channel. If anybody tells you that you aren't legitimate, that you're a dead channel, F them.
Right.
They don't determine that. They don't decide that. They don't know what it's like. They haven't been to your channel. They don't know what you're doing in and out to try to get your channel to grow. They don't have jurisdiction over that. They don't get to determine that. You get to determine that. And I'm telling that directly to the chat, and I'm telling directly to Loki, because if I ever hear him say that, oh, so and so told me I wasn't legit, or so and so told me that I'm a dead channel, I will fly down to wherever his ass and beat his ass with a freaking axe. Okay.
Oh shit!
Remember, we're Spartans here. Okay.
That's right.
This is Valhalla. Okay.
That's right. Sword people says fuck them.
Hella suffers no fools, Loki.
I want to thank Mac. Thank you so very much for coming on today. Thank you, brother, for taking the time. I know you have a huge, busy schedule, but I really appreciate you, brother, coming on here.
Exactly.
Hanging out with us. I couldn't ask for a better friend, a better person to work with on this. on this crazy train that is in YouTube. You know,
You know what?
Ollie's
You know
got
what? It's going. We riding this till the wheels fall off. But damn, we're gonna have a damn good time doing it.
That's right.
and it
That's
ain't
right.
the end. And believe me, once YouTube decides that we're not we've served our purpose and we just gonna get kicked off the platform. Well, we're already going to be on other platforms. We're already have planted the seeds for our growth and influence everywhere else. So don't ever put your eggs in one basket, guys.
No. I've got Rumble set up. I've got stuff going on Rumble.
Put it this way.
Odyssey.
YouTube.
It's all backed up.
Let's put it this way. You guys have a bigger influence than you think you do. You guys are more powerful than they think you are.
Thank you, chat. Thank everybody in chat that's hung on, everybody that was here earlier, anybody watching this afterwards. You guys keep the fires burning bright here, and you guys keep Makini Nation strong going over there. So thank you guys. Thank you so very much. And we're gonna get out of here, guys. We will be back later today. It's probably gonna be around 1 o'clock. Somewhere around 1:30, we will be going live at Space Cadet Comics. It will be me, 24, and Nick. I'll just be walking around. I'll be on my phone. So it's going to be one of those kind of live streams. Hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't work, we're still going to have a comic book roundtable tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So whether it works or doesn't, we're still going to have a comic book roundtable tonight. I'm going to show off some of the stuff we got over the weekend. And if we get anything today, I don't know if we're going to get anything today or not, but we're going to have some showing off because I bought a shitload of Spawn books. I got the Dark Forces comics and some other stuff. So we've got some cool Star Wars shit from back in the day, and we have got some Spawn. I got a whole shitload of Batman and Spawn books. So until then, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. That's right. Yeah, no, I love it. Thank you, brother. And we'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody.
Much love, guys.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.